Has May 2023 turned into mayhem for NovaTech? To be or not to be? That is the question. How you doing, people? It's your guy Crypto God 2, back with a NovaTech update. So Thursday, the 11th of May 2023, NovaTech have taken the decision, I believe, to stop new clients coming in the jurisdiction of the United States. Why have they done that? I believe the situation that particularly happened in Wisconsin, I feel that has had to make NovaTech take a step back and take affirmative action in terms of how they move forward. What does that mean moving forward? I do not know. I don't want to over speculate because there's been no official announcement, but of course it's been clocked in the support section where you can check where there's a restricted list that is now, instead of certain states, is United States as an umbrella. Obviously, you know, I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that, just sharing information of the opportunity that I am invested in with the risk factors considered. Now, what happened in Wisconsin, from what I heard through one of my colleagues in the space, is that they joined NovaTech. Their upline wasn't too great. They went to their state to get some investigation going on. They want to find out about the company or the ins and outs. Of course, now doing that is counterproductive because we're in a niche market space where you can get certain percentages that the traditional financial institutions do not want us to be gaining. Why do you think all these cease and desist and refrains are flying out? They don't want a business like NovaTech to succeed. They want people shouting and hollering and losing their minds about NovaTech, so they have fuel to add to the fire. NovaTech have to dampen that fire. How they're going to do that, I do not know. What is the future for NovaTech? It's been several months of a rocky road. And to add on top of that, there's this issue with the miscalculations of commissions, which now looks like there's going to be no FRIYAY or no Saturday bonus payouts, according to the announcement in the back office. So it's just more piling on of negativity and bad news. Not a good look, is it? I don't believe it's going to go, but I do believe something has to change, particularly with how these parameters have been put in place. They can't stick to them at the moment. It's quite a mess. And a mess on top of mess just equals a bigger mess and much more noise than what needs to be. So I don't really want to add to that because I'm a person that's just kind of trying to just assess the situation without going too hard. I have a lot in there, but at the same time, I know the rules of the space, so I'm not going to go crazy when NovaTech's been one of the best out of all platforms in this space. As a business, it's done very well, so I can only give them credit for that. Now, the thing is, we need some form of communication. It doesn't have to be all the deep diving intricacies of the back end, but we need something because there's going to be a lot of concern. Concern needs to be quelled down. Certain uplines do not have access to the CEO and those type of level peoples to even get certain information anyway. It's a tricky and sticky situation. Of course, the lovers in the FUD land are going to be rejoicing right now because this just really adds to it, where they can say, yeah, this is that and this is this. I don't believe it is that. I just believe that in a certain industry, they don't want people to win as much as they're winning. The world needs workers. They don't want all of us in passive income streams and, you know, living our best lives when they need people in jobs, you know? So this space ain't for everyone anyway. This will be a true test of the mindset, the character, of how you conduct yourselves in the space, and how you are able to, if this is your first platform, move forward and carry on and just find those other avenues that, you know, there's plenty that we bring, not just myself, there's others out there, and or it's just not for you, and you know, you go back to the traditional lands and work with those low ends that they want to pigeon feed you when there's a lot more out there. Now, this doesn't equate to everything being some kind of scheme or scam. There's actual, real, serious, great opportunities of earnings. And, you know, when we learn in the space, there's people that have been through the trenches, the hardships of the space, so that others don't have to go through that, and maybe just be able to fast track themselves into good platforms where they can make some really good gains and diversify. You have to diversify. Not everything's gonna work, but someone like, for me personally, I like to give things risk assessments of my own. NovaTech wasn't a high risk for me. It was more on the lower ends, just due to their structure and their percentages that they were averaging. There's way worse platforms. There's better platforms of 2023. So that's where we stand. But I want to hear more from NovaTech. I don't want to pile on the shit on them that's already on there. Let's see if they can figure it out. And that's all we can do. All right. So obviously I want NovaTech to win. I want them to continue. It is an offshore business, so they can continue to conduct their crypto and Forex offshore. In the United States, they had to do their technicalities of trading in cryptocurrency in that realm. They can't do Forex in the United States because you need certain registrations and documentations and all sorts of things. When NovaTech is advertising as a crypto and Forex platform, and then they take that, if someone's getting it investigated, that's going to throw out a whole bunch of uncertainties where they think, oh, so are they actually doing Forex? Is that securities? There's a whole bunch of things that come into that mix, which is why when people are calling for it to go private a while back, it's these kind of things that, you know, we're looking at. In some ways, they're a victim of their own success, and, you know, they've never been the best with the communication in the first place. So when it's in this phase of NovaTech, to have not so much communication is still going to bring that uncertainty and doubt, even over fear. But that aside, it doesn't mean it's the end. NovaTech made sure they're an offshore company for a reason, because they know the US be acting up. Stand up, US, wagwan. Anyway, let me not go too off-brand for me on the channel, so I'll cool it down a bit. But yeah, they're still here. They will figure out what they need to figure out. People just have to decide whether they're going to be patient enough or not. And in some ways, we don't have a choice anyway. But NovaTech, stay rising. You've been in the storm already. There's just some more things that you have to go through. But for you to overcome the storm, see the rainbow, and the sunshine shines bright. Like and subscribe, people. As I said earlier, diversification is an important part of the journey. Protect your accounts, wallets, and mines. And this is NovaTech, but they do have things to work on. So take care. I will catch you soon. This is the May Mayhem. Nah, just a MAYmess.